here at the Digital Drone Racing presented by InsuranceMarket.ae. This is the last day of this tournament where we were waiting for the second semifinal, and then we will have the final to end the day and this tournament where every team is competing for a prize pool of $250,000. It's amazing. The atmosphere is unbelievable here, and I think every team is trying to give their best. I'm your host, Zach Man, and I'm joined here in the studio by Ewan and Zach. Ewan, the first semifinal was unbelievable, right? Do you think the semifinal, the second one, will be the same intensity, more, less? What do you think?
Well, I think in terms of quality, a little bit less, because we had the qualifiers from 2 days ago, 1, 2, and 3 in the first semi-final. But the difference between the best qualifier from 2 days ago and the worst qualifier is less in this next one. So, yes, it's going to be closer and I think more unpredictable.
It was a very clean run in the semi-final one compared to the quarterfinals that we had yesterday. And I keep saying that it's clean because now I think we came to know today how hard it is to drive, to pilot these drones. This is us trying to fly these drones through the simulator. Ewan, is this you?
Yeah, I think this is me. This is just terrible, isn't it? I mean, I couldn't even work out how to go forwards. I keep going backwards here. There's a pole. It's unimaginably difficult. I mean,
look
really.
Look at that control there from the six, by the way, and that is a face that I never want to see again, to be honest. I think this is one of us sitting again. Bosh, look at that. Professional.
That's good.
We don't know who it is.
Oh, no, this was you right at the end.
Yeah, this was me right at the very end. Yeah. But as you can see, it wasn't going well all the time.
Guys, it was so hard to just keep it in place and just elevate it and like exactly know where you want to go. Look at that.
Look at my
Look at
concentration.
Look at that. And you know, that concentration is for nothing. I was just hitting goals, hitting the ceiling, hitting the floor, and that's it.
That's me, by the way.
That's you, right?
That was me. That was me. I got the furthest, but I didn't do very well. That's for sure. It was unbelievably difficult.
After trying these simulations, guys, honestly, like we did appreciate these pilots a lot anyway, but after what we tried today, we now have much more appreciated to these people. I think they are extremely talented. It's not that they just practiced well. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, 100%. We're about to see in a moment my lap two gates versus the pro. Of course, DR1. This is the fastest qualifying lap. You can see by the time they got to Snake Eyes, I'm not even figured out how to go forward yet. I'm just cruising, right? I'm taking it slow, tortoise in the hare, slow and steady win the race. I absolutely nailed this first gate. Look at this precision through the first gate. And by the time I've done that and hit the top again,
Nice.
I did actually manage to get the checkpoint. They'd already done a lap and a half, or even, I think, 2 laps. I
haven't seen any difference between both.
I was the one on the left.
Almost the same. Oh, yeah, left. I mean, it was almost the same. But even you were able to kind of know where you're going. You stabilized a bit, maybe. What do you think?
I went a bit further than you two, but I mean, I really wasn't very good. We got 3 minutes each, by the way. And I only made it to quad gate, which is, not even halfway around the track. So, yeah, very, very difficult, and a newfound appreciation for these pilots.
Yeah, exactly. And we can all agree that I was the worst at that time. So it's okay. It happens. It's fine. I'll get better. Now I am excited, by the way, to actually learn how to pilot a drone, even through a simulator, because I think there when I tried to like hold it in a different way. What do you think?
I didn't try it like that, actually. You went for the pincing technique, which I think definitely worked a little bit better. So yeah, likewise, I think we've all got a unanimous decision that we have a newfound respect for each and every single one of these guys. They are exceptionally talented, and the difficulty is remarkable. But if you are looking into sort of getting into drone racing, a simulator is a very accessible and very damage limiting way of doing it. Moving on though into semi-final 2. And this is one that I think, Team Millennium, I think, are the favourites here. But E7 Roll from Team Heart of America, I think it could go any which way as to who's going to finish second.
Yeah, let's talk about the pilots of these teams. We know that this is their scores from the quarterfinals yesterday. We can see that Team Millennium, they did really well. And now we're going to go to the stage. Let's go.
All right, so the moment you've all been waiting for, we're right here getting prepared for the semifinal second race of today. I want to know if you guys are excited as I am, so can I hear you guys make some noise? Because within a few moments, you're going to see some of the best athletes of the world grace the stage right now. Let's call them up. The first team to join us is Team Millennium! Give it up for Team Millennium! And now we're going to welcome more players. Team number 2 for today is E7! Our next team is Team Roll! Make some noise for Team Roll! And our last team for the semifinal is Team Heart of America! Give it up for Team Heart of America! All right, ladies and gentlemen, please hang tight to your seats. Don't move a muscle. And if you want to take some videos, post it on your social media. Hashtag GOTF Abu Dhabi. And tag us in all your amazing content. Now, gentlemen, team players, assume your positions. FPV goggles on, and let's get ready to drone!
What an introduction that was, guys. The teams are ready, the pilots are ready. As we know, this is their first pilot, and they're going to have a second pilot after that. Guys, the stage is packed. I think people are really enjoying watching these drones. Any final favorites, maybe, to this race?
I mean, favorites for me, probably Team Millennium. Not personal favorites, I just think favorites for the competition, at the very least, the semi-final as a whole. The rest of them, though, I think is a little bit more of a tentative subject. E7, Rolf, Team Heart of America, all teams that have showed promise, but I don't think have fully gone on to show that. I mean, E7, a spectacular victory yesterday in quarterfinal 3. They really do have sort of made a statement in this competition despite that panicky pit stop they had yesterday. They are going to need to sort that out, though, because if Team Millennium are the favourites for the semi-final, that only leaves one extra transfer slot and 3 teams that are going to be vying for it.
I think we're expecting an amazing heat/race. I'm going to leave you guys to it. You can take it from here. Let's go.
Thank you very much. And anticipating the second 50-lap semi-final, of course, our second of 2 races today. Later on, we'll be taking to the final. And this is the one to decide who's going to be joining Team BDS and Team Drone Racing 1 in that final, in the showdown for $87,500 to the winner. And right now, of course, these teams trying to guarantee themselves that spot in the final, and at the very least, $17,500 as well to go with it. The stakes absolutely are high. Still myself, Zach Sweeney, Ewan O'Leary alongside me in the commentary box. And there you can see the pilots getting themselves ready to go. Quick rundown. The red drone will be Team Millennium. They'll be starting this race from pole position. E7 in the green, Rolf in the blue, and Team Heart of America in the yellow drone. Now, Ewan, favorites for this one. Who do we think is coming out on top?
I'm going to be a little bit boring and say the top 2, Team Millennium and E7. I think what we saw yesterday was that Rolf definitely had the speed, but maybe not the consistency. Staying out of trouble was difficult for them yesterday. Their race time was actually very slow, and they were second to Tech Drone League, who were absolutely beaten hands down. by all the other teams in their semi-final earlier on this afternoon. So I think it is going to be the top two on the grid, the top two at the end as well.
I can agree with that. And then, of course, when that comes to the final, I think we will have narrowed it down to the 4 best teams that have showed their stake in this competition. But still, right now, by the way, just by making it into the semi-finals, they've guaranteed themselves $8,750 US. Not at all a bad shout for a few days of work here in Abu Dhabi at Games of the Future. Of course, the Digital Drone Racing presented by insurancemarket.ae. If you are now just joining us, it's in perfect time for the second of 2 semi-finals for this competition. Anticipating the race start, of course, and how important do you think it's for Team Millennium to get away well from pole position?
Well, they've got to get away better than the previous pole sitters, Tech Drone League in the first semi-final. That is for sure. As we get the 30-second warning, the countdown will begin in a moment. Hopefully, we just need one attempt to get this one started. Don't forget, we had a vaulted start at the beginning of semi-final 1.
We did indeed. So hopefully we can get it done and dusted. 10 seconds until the countdown begins. Of course, the beeps that will dictate the beginning of this 50-lap race. It's Millennium on pole, E7, Rolf, and Team Heart of America that complete the grid. And we anticipate the start of semi-final 2. This one could be interesting to decide the final transfer spots into the final for the Digital Drone Racing. And we go a fantastic launch from Team Heart of America. They've already jumped and made contact with Rolf there. They're going to be down. Upper contact immediately again through the snake eyes. A self-inflicted mistake there from Team Heart of America. And Mari is going to be gutted, struggling to get that drone back in the air, but a fantastic launch from our race leaders of Team Millennium.
And they're not even sure they've done snake eyes properly, so they're only just doing it now. Rolf have to come to the pit box immediately. Contact through the starting gate. Unbelievable. It was a great launch, to be fair, from Heart of America, but they tried to use it immediately by getting in front of Rolf. And they're in the air and they're down again. Team Heart of America having big trouble here on the opening lap through the descending ladder this time. That drone can't be too healthy. They're carrying on with it though through the end of lap 1.
Yeah, the important thing was contact. E7 almost going down through the descending ladder, able to hang on to that one. Hopefully no drone damage. Of course, the propellers very sensitive to damage if you hit them at the wrong angle. Crucially though for Rolf, they were able to emerge after contact with E7 on the opening lap. They were able to emerge still on that, the same lap as of course Team Heart of America. So they're not quite a full lap down yet, but what it does mean is that Team Millennium have staked their control of this race and are beginning to extend that gap in front.
Well, the top 2 have only got to finish just there, so they're not going to be too worried about it. But E7 will be concerned about drone damage, if there is any, on that one at the moment. After going through the descending ladder, we had a very clean race, really, in semi-final 1. A couple of crashes towards the mid part, just after the pilot changes. Maybe that's not a coincidence. But towards the beginning here, already 3 drones making contact with one another or something else.
Yeah, exactly that. So E7, they're going to be counting their lucky stars. A very simple mistake and maybe a bit of a wake-up call to say that you're not invincible. You've got a good start, but there's still plenty of race left to run. Nice to see that the blue drone of Rolf are able to get back into this competition. They've settled back into things, of course, after that drone and presumably battery swap as well. They were with the contact with Team Heart of America on the opening lap. They recovered that drone, got it back out again. And thankfully, I say this is a bit of a bittersweet. It happened on the opening lap. They've still got the entire rest of this race to recover.
They do, but of course you'd rather not have it at all. When that's not an option, might as well have it at the beginning. E7 really starting to motor here and getting onto the back of Trent Pepino, who is leading for Millennium. The gap halved last lap, so it's 1.1 seconds between the red and green drones at the front of the field.
Yeah, really good stuff from Thunder FPV, of course, the reigning Spanish champion of 2025. Trying to chase after Trinks as, of course, the gap is coming down. Millennium now being reeled in from Thunder FPV. Trinks Pepino, of course, the French champion, and is looking incredibly strong in the opening phase of this race. But what we saw in the quarterfinal yesterday, Team Millennium, their absolute secret weapon of Kiki, still to come in the second half of this race. E7, even if they do get into the lead, have got a long road ahead.
They're getting really close to the gates in this semi-final so far. The number of times I've heard them clipping a gate so far has been unbelievable. Millennium even did at the ascending ladder a couple of laps ago, but they've got away with it on that occasion. Team Heart of America still on the lead lap, by the way. They're 15 seconds off of the race lead. Rolf are 1 lap down, but they are really going quite quickly, just less than 30 seconds off the race lead.
Yeah, indeed. So, of course, the fight for the lead, the red and the green drone, that's the one we're focusing on currently on board. as they negotiate their way through the media center section of the circuit. You can just about make out the race leaders of Team Millennium in front, on board with E7 and from the FPV, who's looking pretty strong. Like I say, Spanish 2025 champion, as into the pit lane, I believe, comes a couple of the drones. Indeed so. So we've only got 2 out on the circuit as things stand. Millennium come in on what is lap number 10. They've completed 9. Now this is a shorter stint than we would expect.
Yeah, and Heart of America have had to come in again. There's Heads Up putting it back on the podium and going just in front of Millennium. And look at the lead is down! The lead is down! E7 go down as they were coming out there, Heart of America, and they go straight back to the pit box. Straight into the pit box. They're going to lose the drone. Can they get it in? Can they get it into the pit box? Frantic stuff at the moment as they try and get that green drone into the box. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They need to go reach for another one. They need to reach for another one. And they're still a bit slow to do so. They need to reach for another drone, and they haven't. Team Millennium retake the lead.
This could be a huge opportunity, by the way, for Team Rolf, who were about a lap down previously, back into the race. Go E7, so they'll be using a new drone and a new battery. We won't see those guys coming into the pit lane shortly. Team Heart of America, though, of course, have already lost a drone. Team Millennium, the only ones that haven't done so, looking incredibly clean as we tick our way into the second quarter of this race, as Team Rolf, the blue drone, back out of the pit lane for their scheduled pit stop of the race.
It's really close for second place at the moment as well, as E7 just go over the line now. They are 11 seconds off the race lead. Heart of America are still exactly where they were before, but E7 are a lot closer to them, of course. So this is remarkable. The battle for second really hotting up. Rolf are not that far behind either.
Yeah, this could be really, really good, of course. As we expected, Team Millennium were the favourites for E7, Heart of America, Rolf. It could go any which way. And don't forget as well, yesterday in the quarterfinals, Heart of America had a spectacular crash in their blue drone yesterday. Now, of course, piloting the yellow one did have a couple of issues they needed to sort out right at the beginning. But now the comeback is on, and just goes to show that this is a race and a discipline of attrition.
Very close at the moment as Rolf try and unlap themselves here from Team Millennium. Pressure's on. This is where, even as a race leader, you can get into trouble with a lap. Look at this. This is just remarkable from these two pilots at the moment, running so close to one another as Rolf continued to try and unlock themselves, and Millennium stopped them from doing so.
The precision there from Rolf, I have to say, remarkably impressive. Getting ever close, but not an inch too close, is allowing them through there. Trees Pepino, Millennium being allowing a lapped drone through, but a really good move there from Rolf, and could well be important later on in this race. Really good flying in the second phase of this quarter of the race from Team Rolf, and again, it could be the decider with how close it is in the fight for second. That could be important to now get some clear air.
Really close for second at the moment as well, and so Rolf are going to be able to close in on this as Team Heart of America challenge E7. They're all catching Team Millennium as a result of letting the blue drone through. They're all on the lead lap after nearly 18 laps completed. Remarkable second semi-final so far.
I have to say, I'm incredibly impressed. Rolf, of course, by unlapping themselves, put them on the lead lap. So at Millennium go through. They took themselves onto what will be lap 19 of 50 and closing into the half distance mark. Of course, at the moment, they've got the gap. They don't need to push too hard. The focus now is longevity, it's efficiency, but really close. Team Heart of America on the back of E7. They're chasing each other through the quad gate.
And they're getting closer to Team Millennium even now. So the gap's less than 9 seconds. It was 9.2 when they came over the line last time round. We'll see what it is in a moment, because Team Millennium have come across the line to complete 19 laps so far today. What's the gap now? It's back to 8 seconds. Sorry. So even closer now between first and second and third as well.
Yeah, I think E7 and Team Heart of America, though, they are pushing. We've got, of course, Thunder FPV and Amari at the sticks of the yellow drone, and Thunder, of course, at the sticks of the green drone. I think they are pushing. Team Heart of America right in front of them is that spot into the finals later on this afternoon, into this evening. But a really good lap, I think, from E7. A slightly offset Amari has allowed that gap to reopen.
Yeah, not a good one for Amari particularly. We'll see what the gaps are. I think both are probably true.
Into the pits for America as well.
And Team Millennium are already in. So E7 take the lead. So I thought that was drone crashing. It's just somebody slamming their pit box down. So slightly short of where they needed to be for Millennium, who haven't even lost a drone. So that's interesting. They're onto the podium and they're back underway again.
Yeah, so they'll be using a battery for 4 laps effectively, which is a really awkward point in this race. Team Heart of America in and out as well. And again, similar to what we saw yesterday, when we've got a when we've got a semi-final this close, they're all going to be ticking on to lap 25 at very similar points. And the stairs are only so wide here at the arena.
Yep, and one of them are going to have to leap down them, of course, at some stage. Here comes E7. So from the lead of this race, E7 are into the pit lane as well. They're short of the mark. So can Rolf get to lap 25 here and jump in front on pit strategy, or are they coming in too? They're slowing down. They must be out of juice. They're coming in too.
So this is a very high energy usage race. We saw in semi-final 1 that BDS and I think all of the teams bar Raiden were able to go the distance as a swap of position as well. That, of course, Team Heart of America, who came in a bit earlier on, they've done the undercut. They've pitted earlier and came out in front. They needed some clear air. They've locked in Amari, a fantastic final few laps of his stint to get Team Heart of America back into that transfer spot zone. But yeah, like I say, an uncharacteristically high energy usage. They're going to be coming back in a few moments' time anyway.
This is an outrageously close race as well, by the way. The whole field covered by, 15.7 seconds last time around. 15 laps about to be completed. 25 laps rather, about to be completed by Team Millennium. So they'll go around once more, really being chased by Team Heart of America here for the race lead. They will all be switching at the same time. Let's hope nobody bumps into one another, as there'll be 8 of them around that area all at the same time in a moment.
Yeah, there's going to be a very busy pit lane, and this is why Millennium want to be the first in so that they can really focus. However, closing the gap for the lead actually at 2.1 seconds, so the crunch time is on. Team Heart of America need a quick stop here. They didn't have one yesterday. Of course, Trinks Pepino will hand over the controls to Kiki. Let's see how quick this is. The crowd are roaring them on in support, and already a quick stop for Team Heart of America. This could be the change for the lead.
Amari is already off. Heads Up gets onto the seat. Look at this. They're all changing at the same time. We've never seen this before. They're all switching on the stage at the moment. Heads Up gets the headset back on here. E7 need a quicker change than they managed yesterday. And Heart of America have got their drone on the podium. Is Heads Up ready? Has he got the goggles on? Can he get going here? He picks up the controller. Millennium have also got one drone on their podium.
It's slow for Heart of America. They're not quite able to get it booted up. Millennium emerge in the lead. Team Heart of America were the first to put their drone on the podium, but a slow launch, as they were pretty much, but the gap much closer. That was a superb initial changeover for the other two. It's not quite going for the green team. That, of course, being E7, they've got to pull the drone back in. This could be disastrous in the semi-final as close as this.
They've lost a lap here, E7. They've lost more than a lap. They can't get it plugged in. They need to get there again. The second day in a row, they've had a slow pit stop. It didn't cost them yesterday. It might cost them dearly in the semi-finals today.
Yeah, it could well do. They're back going again, so we've got all 4 drones back out onto the circuit. Of course, trying to put a lap onto Team Roll for Millennium. They've got to be careful here not to get involved in any carnage, because Heads Up is there. Contact between the two, mussing their way through and down through the play. Rolf go down. Millennium able to continue on. They had contact yesterday with Team Raiden in a very similar space, back into the pit lane, and a very damaged prop there for Rolf. And this could allow Team Heart of America to close in the gap. Millennium are going to be counting their lucky stars today.
And it sounds okay. It looks like Team Millennium have gotten away with that somehow. They've gotten away with it. So E7 are 1 lap down. Rolf are about to go 1 lap down too. They've got their box open, but they are going to go down to 4th. E7 are going to be up to 3rd place here. Rolf need to get going quickly. There's a 2nd lap loss now to Team Millennium, who they clashed with through the quad gate.
That is huge for Rolf. Again, so aggressive. It was budging and barging through the snake eyes, and then absolute calamity through the quad gate for them. Of course, Millennium now hoping that they've not got any damage to Nurse. I would assume that they're all okay, considering they're continuing on. We're on to lap 30 now for the race leaders of Millennium. Kiki, of course, the 5-time French champion, is, oh my goodness,
down again,
spinning like a Beyblade through the snake eyes there for Team Rolf, and it's gone from bad to worse for the Blues.
They are down again. And surely they are down and out in this competition now. They started 3rd place in this race. They had a clash immediately with Team Heart of America, who are in 2nd place at this moment. But somehow they are still going. They've gotten back up again. They are still going. They're even a lap behind, about to go 2 laps behind E7, who are currently chasing Heart of America. They're 1 lap down and a half, really down on the transfer spots, those top 2 positions in this semi-final, and they've clashed. They've gone through the Snake Eyes, and E7 are stuck at the bottom of that second square, and they're trying to get back going. That's going to be very difficult from there.
Yeah, they've got to wedge themselves out. They were wedged right in the corner of the square. They've cut their losses. They're going to cut that drone and put a new one on. I think the wiser decision of that one, but that could allow Rolf to reel themselves back into 3rd place in terms of prize money. And in terms of this competition, it's going to mean absolutely nothing unless that blue drone can get themselves up in front. Now, closing back in Team Millennium, a much easier pass through the ascending ladder. Rolf trying to follow them. Don't clash again, guys. Goodness me. As E7 back out onto the circuit. It's still Millennium that leads.
And don't forget, that's made the second part of the Snake Eyes a bit smaller too, because that propeller is quite high compared to where the boundaries of that square would normally be. So it's a little bit smaller than before. Team Heart of America have made their stop. Now, E7 are only just 1 lap down as Team Heart of America go. In fact, they're just over 2 laps down, actually, at the moment. All 4 drones running really close to one another now.
Yeah, it looks remarkable as they dance their way through Quad Gate. Team Heart of America going for a similar strategy to what we saw in the opening phase of this race, which was pitting a lap before Team Millennium. It worked then. It could well work now. Of course, all chasing each other through now into the Snake Eyes. It's wide
Very smart.
to Team Heart of America. I think the correct decision there, hoping that Millennium are going to get caught up in something. Still a very big pinch point through the Quad Gate, but it just goes to show that some teams preserving longevity more than most. But we've got E7 being chased by Millennium, being chased by Rolf, all on different laps.
Millennium trying to lap E7, and they're not going to because they're coming into the pit lane right now. So 3 drones left out there. This should be the final stop for Team Millennium this afternoon. What a final leg of a final it's going to be, by the way, if it's going to be Kiki versus MCK for the win in this competition. I mean, we've not seen either of them make a mistake in this competition so far. It's going to be absolutely unbelievable to watch.
Yeah, I absolutely cannot wait for it. Of course, this race far from over yet. We don't even know who is going to be joining them in the final. Team Heart of America, though, I have to say, I am remarkably impressed. Back out onto the circuit are the red drone of Team Millennium. They are still in front of Team Heart of America. We'll wait for the timing screen to refresh us to see the gap, but I don't think it's going to be overly big unless Heart of America have managed to find a way through. Millennium could be close to lapping them. Either way, makes very little difference in the grand scheme of things. P1 or P2, either way, you go into the final.
Rolf into the pit lane here. And they've got to be low on batteries, by the way. They've had, is that 2 drones down, or at least damaged? So, yeah, they have lost 2, haven't they? So they are going to be in big trouble there as they're reconnecting a new battery. They're getting back going here. E7 put another lap on them. E7 at the moment are just about a lap and a half or so behind Team Heart of America, who just let Rolf out there. They're playing this really safely in this final leg.
Yeah, again, this is incredibly clever flying. They've got, 45 seconds, maybe even closer to 60 seconds, I think, in the entire minute over E7 as they roll through. That's about 3 laps or so in favor of the team that would knock them out of the transfer zone. 0-0 risks. It maybe cost them a second or 2 to let them through. It would have cost them at the very least a lap or 2 had they have clashed and carried on. So really, really clever flying from Heads Up there. Definitely flying with his brain and not with his heart.
Absolutely. Oh, Millennium clipped the Snake Eyes and they're into the pit lane. The leaders of this race into the pit lane. Are they going to lose the drone for the first time? Maybe. They need one more. Now, they're going to do a switch over. There they are in the pit box. An unplanned pit stop here. Now, Heart of America around the other side of the circuit. Can they get through in time? They're not going to have time, I don't think. They'll have to go through at least twice if they want to get through on Team Millennium, who are making their 5th pit stop here. Heart of America are onto the lead lap now.
Yeah, they are, but I think they could well owe us another pit stop. Getting stuck, though. Team Roll for the bottom of their pit box. They're not quite able to. I think they've just been able to wedge it in. Team Millennium back onto their podium, back into this race. E7 flying in as well. Team Heart of America, for a brief second, were the only drone out on circuit. Now we've got our 2 leaders, and most likely the 2 that will be taking to the to the main final later on this evening. What is interesting, we're not far away from the finishing time of Team BDS already, and we've still got 7 laps to go.
Yeah, that's a remarkable performance so far from Team BDS, that's for sure. They're the ones to beat. Millennium only 11 seconds behind Team Heart of America, so they weren't credited with it. Well, they wouldn't be, would they? They didn't do very much of their lap there, so they haven't been credited with it. And that means they are 11 seconds behind Heart of America. It means they're going to start quite a long way down, which is going to be a concern for them. If we're going to get that battle between BDS and Millennium, then the team in red for this race want to be first at the end of this semi-final, you'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, 50 laps, a lot can happen in that 50 laps. Team Heart of America started last. They're now leading this race despite some issues towards the beginning of it. It's just mesmerizing looking at the camera. Fantastic job, by the way, from the camera ops and, of course, from all of the production team here at Games of the Future. They're doing a superb job. So a big shout out to the unsung heroes there following the action. I mean, it is just absolutely mesmerizing to see them dance through, especially up and then back down the ladders. That, of course, is key. The 5-time French champion, Canadian champion as well, is the French pilot, currently running in P2, but only 5 seconds between the two leaders.
Forget 5 seconds, it's 1.8. They're really closing in here on Millennium. Heart of America look like they're just going to be pleased to reach the final if they can get there. They're 2.5 laps in front of E7, who need to pass. Oh, and straight through in the ascending ladder here. Team Millennium are leading this race all over again, and Heart of America had to pit anyway. It doesn't matter anyway. Unless Team Millennium have to stop, they're going to win this semi-final.
Yeah, exactly. They've just got to keep it clean, keep it consistent all the way to the end, which when you got Kiki at the sticks, you're probably in safe hands, I would imagine. On to lap 48, 47 completed. Team Heart of America, a nice efficient pit stop. And coming in, actually, Team Millennium. So the crunch time is on here. Team Heart of America led them through so they could have a clean stop. Now they need an absolute rocket ship of an outlap to retake the lead.
I'm not entirely sure where E7 and Rolf are. Rolf are in the pit lane. They're getting back out again in a moment. They're 5 laps off of E7, who I also don't know where they are at the moment. Millennium getting onto their podium. Can they get going here quicker? Yes, they can. Comfortably so, with 2 laps remaining.
Again, P1, P2, I'm sure Team Heart of America don't really mind. Similar mindset from Team Millennium to Team BDS, by the way, in terms of, I think it's an expectation that they go to the final. They know how good they are as a pairing. And again, you're only as good as your weakest pilot. The rest of the semi-final, E7, Rolf, and Team Heart of America, I think are of the mindset that it's not an expectation they get to the final. It would be very, very nice indeed. And all of them are fighting for that. So Team Heart of America, I think they're not really too fussed where they start as long as they're on the grid.
Yeah, absolutely. As Millennium come round the final corner, they're going to be in the final, as are Team Heart of America. We'll wait to see what the starting positions will be. But after 50 laps, Millennium take it by 5.2 seconds in the end in one of the closer races we've seen this week.
Yeah, absolutely sensational stuff from Team Millennium, who, of course, will book their ticket to the finals later on. Team Heart of America, though, what an adversary they have shown to be. We knew after qualifiers on Saturday there was more to show. But 1,233 seconds, Team Millennium's finishing time. And that is over, nearly 2 minutes slower than what we saw from Team BDS.
Team Heart of America don't know that they've finished, I suspect, because they're carrying on for a 52nd lap now. But they're into the final as well. You'd imagine E7. Where are E7, by the way? They've run out of drones. I'm not entirely sure. But, they're not on track at the moment. It looks like Rolf are going to overtake them at this stage. Penalty lap applied for Team Heart of America, I think that was. So there is the finish for Team Heart of America. And they will be second by a bit more of a distance than what we initially thought. But Team Rolf look like they're going to move up to 3rd place. And for some reason, E7, I didn't see them lose that many drones. There's that one at the Snake Eyes there, and maybe there's some more damage that we don't know about. But they are the only ones out there, Rolf, and they're going to be completing this race on their own.
Yeah, and we'll tip E7 to P3 in the race, I suppose. But it makes no difference. They'll still be walking away with $8,500 in prize money. Not at all bad by any stretch of the imagination. But Team Millennium, Team Heart of America, that is done. That is dusted. They have guaranteed themselves in that spot into the final. And at the very least, $17,500 in terms of prize money. And at the very least, an opportunity to go for the all-important $87,500 prize pool that will be going there for the winners of the digital drone race presented by InsuranceMarket.ae here at the Games of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025. As Rolf trying to complete their race, of course, down the ladder with a tap and down. It's not going to make too much difference. And also just getting confirmation as well. Team Millennium at no point during that race have a down.
They did.
They had collisions. They didn't go down.
They did collide with the Snake Eyes and limp back to the pit lane. So I don't know. I'm not willing to let them off with that.
You're harsh.
But Rolf have 2.5 minutes, by the way, to finish. I'm not sure they have the drones left to do it, and they're not going to get that one back in the air. So it looks like that one is finished there, and they are going to be 3rd. After seeing all 4 of our semi-finalists in number 1 make it to the end doing 50 laps, we are not going to see any more than just the first 2. There they are, they're all done. So that'll be that for semi-final 2. Team Millennium and Team Heart of America make it through. I think relief for Millennium, really, because I think they stand a much better chance against BDS if they're starting from first or second place versus having to overtake others in that race first.
Yeah, exactly that. Team Millennium, of course, you can see Kiki there, very calm, very composed. And again, knows that there is still a job to do. Even though you've fought your way through this, there's still another 50 laps of racing still to come. The all-deciding one. There you can see heads up for Team Heart of America. Evan Turner, 22 years old from Tennessee, a multiple-time multi-GP champion and very present in the world of content creation as well. I was watching a video the other day where he was training a YouTuber on how to get a little bit better for his respective drone racing competition. And after this morning, I'm sure we could probably use some personal training.
E7 have decided they do want to play. So they're going again. Rolf have run out of drones, and so E7 are back again. Can they do it? And there's their stricken drone, by the way. Now, they've got 1 minute. How many laps does he have to do here? Just a couple. Yeah, so he has got enough time here. I don't think he's got enough time to do the race, actually, do the 50 laps, but he does have enough time to get back ahead of Rolf.
He does indeed. He's got to be locked in and have no mistakes. Interesting that they're continuing on because, well, I think more for pride than anything to have finished on the podium in the semi-final. Up and over Snake Eyes once again. It's a good excuse to have a personal experience, I suppose. Exclusive look at the circuit through the quad gate and now through this very fast sweeping section through the reds, then of course the green, and then into this slanted blue gate, up the ladder, back down the ladders, complete the lap. They've just got to make it to the timing beam before the klaxon, and then, of course, that will be them back in front of Team Rolf, and E7 will then, of course, make their way into third position. Not quite the finals, but, well, it's something, I suppose.
It is. And indeed, there is no benefit. Oh, no.
Oh, there we go. Spectacular.
They're done right in front of the stage, but they've done enough laps for third place. As I say, it doesn't actually matter, does it, as far as prize money is concerned or overall finishing position. There is no race off for 5th to 8th, so that is that. And there's the klaxon. They are done. Millennium and Heart of America are through. Hands shaken across the board. E7 and Rolf have their competitions come to an end right here. Wow, what a semi-final that was. More crash field, definitely.
Oh, absolutely. It was action-packed. Even though we had the Clash of Titans earlier, this one was remarkably closer. I have to say a big shout-out to Team Heart of America, able to contest with Millennium. We saw there just through the Snake Eyes, it was E7 and Team Heart of America that had contact going through, one that would leave E7 down and then straight back to the pit lane. This was right at the beginning of the race-ish, I think definitely in the first half of the stint, and then missed one. Yeah. The pit box. So there's one down. We would expect. There's even more contact. I think this was Rolf versus Team Millennium. It was Argy Bargy through the Snake Eyes, and then Rolf trying to get their revenge and go back down the inside through the first part of Quad Gate. Would then see them make further contact. And is this how E7 got stuck?
Yep. Is that Millennium as well?
I think so.
Goodness me.
They're out for blood, aren't they?
Their drones must be made of granite. Goodness me. They got away with all sorts there, but they've won the semi-final, and that's all that matters. By the way, a bit of a stat for you. Not much of a stat, actually. Team Heart of America, the first team to fly a yellow drone and make it through from any quarterfinal or semi-final. So that doesn't just matter for colours. We're not being weird. That matters for where they start on the grid. Indeed, they started in 4th place. First team to go into the top 2, as you can see there, as a result of... Or after, rather, starting from 4th place.
I think also, if memory serves me correctly, the closest finish we've had thus far as well. Only, 5.3 seconds?
I didn't note it down, but I think quarterfinal 1 yesterday was about 4 seconds.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
yes, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, one of the closest then, at the very least. Team Millennium and Team Heart of America will be the two that take their ticket to the finals this evening. E7 and Rolf will be saying goodbye to, but they can still walk away, of course, with their heads held very high. They made it to this stage of the competition, and, well, we'll definitely have some money lining their pocket with $8,750 to go home with a bit of a prize pool. So an extra $2,500 compared to the baseline that all teams get just for showing up. That really, really good stuff for them. But now we've gone from 32 pilots down to just 8. We've gone from 16 teams down to just 4. The final, of course, will be coming up in a couple of hours' time. There you can see the crowd, which, to be fair, have been very animated. Everyone's gone to take a bit of a break now. But during the race, I mean, we saw some very excited and very involved, passionate crowds here for some drone racing.
Yeah, we absolutely did, and we have done here yesterday as well, which was great to see. And I think they've enjoyed what they've seen. course, they should come back in about 2 hours' time, because at 7:30, well, in fact, the drivers will already be on the stage, won't they, from the finals? So they should come back a bit earlier than in 2 hours' time, in fact. But yeah, that is when our final will be, and yeah, it's going to be a super exciting one. I mean, Millennium and BDS haven't met each other yet in a race, and I'm very excited for them to do so.
Yeah, I think they are the two favourites. I mean,
Yeah.
Drone Racing 1 versus Team Heart of America, that's one that I would probably see in favour of DR1, that, of course, being the fight for P3. In this one, I do think that Drone Racing 1 are ever so slightly quicker. I mean, their race time in of itself was 1,221 seconds. That was quicker than Team Millennium's race finish time in this one. So in theory, Drone Racing 1 could still be in the conversation for taking the victory. I think Team Heart of America will struggle, but then again, they surprised us in this race. Maybe they could surprise us in the final as well.
Absolutely. We'll have to wait and find out a little bit later on, but yeah, BDS and Millennium for me are the two that we've got to really look at. They have been the best two so far in this competition, in my opinion, and to see those two together will be very, very exciting in a couple of hours' time.
Yes, guys. I mean, what a race, guys. What a race. And do you know that moment when they all had to change pilots
Yeah.
at the same time? I had to take a video of it, of my own camera, because that's such a special thing, Zach. It didn't happen before.
We were close to having it happen. I can't remember. I think it was quarterfinal 4 yesterday, where they were all pretty close, within a lap or two of each other. There wasn't
there
as
wasn't
much
like that,
overlap,
yeah.
though. Absolutely nowhere near as busy as that was. The stairs are only so wide, and they're all frantic. They're all in a race. So all of them are sort of getting that tunnel vision of, we need to go. I'm surprised we didn't see any trips and falls with how committed they were, but remarkable that they were able to keep it as synchronized, I suppose, as it was, and balance that really well. And of course, a very hectic time of the race. And for the most part, the changeovers themselves, very, very clean. Not many issues there. The issues that did come up in the pit stops was actually getting the drones off the podium in of themselves.
Yeah, exactly. After the 25 laps, the first 25 laps, everyone was the same, almost the same. But then after that, the pitfalls started. I don't know what happened with Rolf. Rolf were doing great, but they started crashing with other drones. I've seen some drone fighting there, even at the quad gate.
Yeah.
But let's first go for the interview.
Yeah,
I think we're ready to interview one of the winner teams.
I think we've got that coming up in a couple of moments' time.
In a couple of moments?
But yeah, we'll
All
go
right.
to it when we can. But yeah, no.
Yeah, that crash that happened at the quad gate between
Yeah.
the.
Yeah, and it started back at the Snake Eyes as well. If you remember, there Millennium and Rolf were sort of already battling with one another, and Rolf tried to respond by diving on the inside. They blow that first part of the quad gate, and Rolf in the end got into the floor and lost a drone through that. So yeah, it was a dramatic race with a lot of drone on drone contacts though, which I haven't seen so much of so far.
And what was surprising is how Team Heart of America, which were kind of the underdog, look how they performed. They've done so many overtakes on the track to really go up. They were in 4th place, but then again, they were able to make it through the semi-final and be in the finals along with Team PDS and Take Drone League and all these other unbelievable teams. We really thought that Heart of America was not a favor to any of us. I think, Zach, with Max.
I had faith. Okay, I wouldn't say
You had with
favorite.
Raiden.
You didn't say-
Favorite.
yeah, you
I
didn't
was
say
very
that.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Heart of America, no one like.
Yeah, no.
Did
But
you?
we've got to admit, none of us did see that coming.
Yeah.
No, I'll be honest. I had a feeling.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Come
Don't
on.
even
No.
start.
It's like Sam
Absolutely
and Cal
not.
now, you know.
Whoa,
I
whoa.
always had a
Pardon?
feeling.
I know what the results are going to be after the race too.
All right. Anyway,
But then, what
where's
do
your
you think?
evidence? Where's your receipts? Pull them up. Exactly.
How did
Where's
Heart
your
of
results?
America pull that though?
Yeah, Heart of America were exceptional. I think from the qualifiers on Saturday, there was always more on the table, and that definitely was the case yesterday in the quarterfinals. So that's why I was, not completely writing them off. Maybe not faith, but I wasn't writing them off as well. I'll end that
Well, we
point
can
on.
all
Just
say
nip
that.
it in the bud.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Anyway, E7 and Rolf were very, very strong. That fight for second was always going to be really good. What I think everyone was shocked with, not only did they make the transfer, they were actually contending for the lead against Millennium, and that in of itself is a shock on top of the shock.
Yeah, and Heart of America, I think the way I'm seeing it, they keep on getting better and better with every stage of this tournament.
And almost
Right.
with every crash they have, they seem to get faster afterwards.
You think so?
They're charging up, aren't they?
It
They had
almost
no
seems like that,
crashes.
yeah. Well, they had the little bits of contact. I mean, it wasn't a perfect race for them, but neither was quarterfinal one, and they were still, or their quarterfinal, sorry. They were still able to come through after those issues and take that top 2 spot again. So it's kind of what we were talking about on the very first day. You can get into the final by scraping through each time. Just about. Are they a top 4 team really in this tournament? I'm
Yeah,
not.
they are.
I'm well. They're in the final. Yes, but if you were to make all things equal and play it all out on paper, which sport never is, obviously, but if you did, you wouldn't have them in your top 4. I mean, they qualified 10th on the first day. So they definitely they've definitely overperformed here, and fair play to them for making the final in the first place.
All right, but let's look at one thing, okay? What made really Heart of America win here? It was actually the pitfalls of other teams, all right? So in the final, if Heart of America were able to keep their cool, do their laps, stay out of trouble, maybe they'll have a chance to win it. I know that Team BDS looked extremely great, honestly, and they're maybe the most favorite, at least for me. I think I'm predicting that. But at the end of the day, one mistake can really flip things around, right?
Yeah, 100%, absolutely. I mean, with how tight this final is going to be, because now, like you were saying, Team BDS and Team Millennium haven't seen each other on track before. We've not seen that clash happen. When you now have these people really getting close to each other, mistakes going to happen, tensions are going to boil over, and it'd be great to hear from Team Millennium too.
Well, we're close now to have an interview, I think, with one of the winning teams. We'll have it shortly. Let's get ready for it. Let's go for stage.
All right, in amazing fashion, E7 has lost, but we have Millennium right here. And the rest of the teams, they've lost. So we got one qualifier going on to the next round, which is what? The final? So Millennium is going to the final. So please introduce yourself.
So my name is Kylian Rousseau. I come from France and I'm in Team Millennium.
Yeah, so I'm from France also. I'm the teammate of Kylian and I'm Tristan Guan.
So the guys have done an amazing job. I just have one question and we'll go straight to the final because I know everybody's excited for the final. What should we see from the both of you guys? Because I know you guys saw the first match and BDS was very sharp and you guys were very sharp as well. What can you expect to do against BDS in this final?
So everybody on the final gun will be way faster. So it's gonna be hard to overtake. Maybe there will gonna be some collision, some middle, and they're gonna have to change the strategy. If they can apply everything as they did, it's gonna be really tough. But we can make something work out.
Amazing. So it's not always about speed. So it could be about strategy. It could be about technique. What kind of precision techniques would you say you would consider that you would involve in this final, since you know your competition is pretty intense, which I'm sure you guys are going to be as intense?
So basically, we have a different strategy. Like we do more pit stops than usual, and we count on that to make the overtakes. So yeah.
Amazing. So you guys heard it right here. They're going to be overtaking. They're going to be using strategy, and they're going to be using precision, not just speed. Speed is always right there, neck to neck, but it takes more to become a winner. Right here at Phygital Drone Racing, presented by Insurance.ae. See you at the final.
Back to the studio here, guys. See, Team Millennium, I told you guys, some teams might have some other strategies, and they just, I don't know if they have unveiled that info. I don't know if that was a secret or something, but they did say that we take more pit stops than usual, and that maybe, I think, to have more fresh batteries every time. What do you think, Ewan?
Yes, it's interesting, isn't it? I think they stopped after 10 laps in that semi-final, if I'm not mistaken. And that clearly is the pattern. These are some of the highlights, by the way, from the race that we've just seen. And Yeah, it was a good start for Millennium, getting out of the chaos really, where Heart of America and Rolf immediately came into contact with one another. Millennium really controlled from the front. They had that one tie-up just as Kiki got behind onto the six, as it were, and after that it was fine for them. But the battle was really behind.
E7 were doing really well, but then when they changed the pilot, first they were a bit delayed in changing the pilot, right, Zach? They took some time.
Yeah, they did, definitely. Not to the extent of yesterday, but they definitely did struggle in the pit stop, and a couple of skirmishes and crashes definitely did not go their way either for both, obviously, E7 in the green zone. Team Heart of America, though, were the different story in the yellow. They were able to absolutely soar their way towards the front. But yeah, the pit stop's very, very vital point. And Rolf, unfortunately, just getting caught up in too many silly accidents, similar to yesterday, I think, have the pace but not the consistency.
That's also for Rolf, right? Because Rolf, we've seen them yesterday. They were so fast. They had like really clean runs. This time they were fast, but there were some crashes that they did not expect. I don't know. Some of them were obstacles, others with other drones. This is where the pilots changed, and they all happened at the same time. It was funny seeing it here on stage. Amazing, because these guys are not like real athletes in the physical term, but honestly, they're amazing on these drones. Zach again. See, this is E7 again failing to recover that drone, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they had a couple of issues. Obviously, through the snake eyes, we saw they got wedged in the narrow point at the bottom. Yeah, I mean, it's just issue compounding onto issue. They were able towards the end to get back out and complete most of the race distance to, at the very least, finish P3. Not that it made much difference. There, though, the red drone, an absolute menace, Team Millennium. They got caught up in a couple of incidents yesterday. They also got caught up in a couple today, but neither time were they the one that came off worse.
I believe that positioning will affect their prize money from the prize pool.
No, it won't.
Really?
The swap from P3 to P4 won't change anything.
Okay.
They still walk away with 8,700.
So again, the results of this semi-final, we need to congratulate Team Millennium and Team Heart of America for making it to the final, and we have to unfortunately say goodbye to Team E7 and Rolf, which we both expected that it might have been them. They're going to the final, but anyway, at the end of the day, probably it's a lesson learned, and this is the final for you guys. We're gonna have 4 teams in the final: Team BDS, Drone Racing 1, Team Millennium, and Team Heart of America. But guys, something to note here, that this is not the standing that every team will start from everyone, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it won't necessarily be in that order with BDS first, etc. We will figure out in the break who is where and let you know before the final begins, of course. We'll just see how they work it out. What's happened today, as far as those semi-finals is concerned, is the teams that won their quarterfinals were put ahead of those who got through by coming in second. So I would imagine that will be the similar working out, but we don't know yet. We'll let you know before the final starts.
Yeah, so maybe we're expecting Team Millennium to be second, or
Maybe, or something like that.
I
Yeah.
think so, if it's about the winners of every team. Zach, do you have any favorites or something to look for in the final?
BDS versus Millennium, absolutely. This is the final showdown because, qualifying on Saturday, it was okay. They're a little bit fresh. The competition's still fresh. It's on the simulators, not in the real life yet. Obviously, yesterday, they were now through the quarterfinals. They had a bit more experience. Today, each of the teams that have now made it to the final, this will be their second and their third full distance race. Well, actually 4 if you include their practice. They are as warmed up and as ready as they can be for this. We are going to see the best flying that we have done all competition, potentially even all year. This is the final competition for a lot of these guys of the calendar year in 2025. They're warmed up, they're ready to go, they're raring to end the year on a high. And when we've got the talent that we've got, BDS, Millennium, DR1, Team Heart of America could still yet surprise us. We've got 4 finalists that absolutely deserve to be there and a big prize pool for them to go and chase.
Absolutely, we're looking forward to that. Guys, now we will go to a break and we will come back at 7:15 UAE time for the final. This is Games of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025 Digital Drone Racing, and presented by InsuranceMarket.ae. See you soon.
It seems to be the epicenter of autonomous robotics and many other activities.
car, health or home insurance? Don't waste hours calling around. At insurancemarket.ae, I bring you quotes from the UAE's top insurers in seconds. Compare, choose and buy instantly, all in one place. Over 200,000 policyholders already trust us with a 4.8 star rating. Join them today. Insurancemarket.ae, where insurance gets smarter. Insurancemarket.ae.
Health is the essence of who we are. M42 is a global health champion harnessing the power of artificial intelligence, technology and genomics to transform healthcare systems and ensure that everyone, everywhere, has access to the care they need. Our dedication to health knows no borders, and we serve with the belief that health is not a privilege. It is a universal right.
What if the spaces between us could disappear? And one move makes all the difference. Sometimes it feels like bonds growing stronger across any distance. When the spaces between us disappear, beautiful things happen.
Running a business doesn't have to be complicated. At Solutions Plus, we provide a tailored combination of consulting, business process outsourcing, and technology solutions, from digital to finance, procurement, HR, ESG, and integrated facilities management. We take care of it all, letting you focus on success. Partner with Solutions Plus and take your business to the next level.
Energy is life, and today, life is happening in two worlds, physical and digital. In Abu Dhabi, where source energy powers innovation, a new kind of energy rises, an energy that unites worlds through intention and action, where physical skills meet digital mastery, and next generation of champions are born. This is where talent meets technology, where strength meets strategy, where energy amplifies through action and powers the future. The Games of the Future, powered by ADNOC.
Welcome back, ladies and gents, to the Games of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025. We're here at the Digital Drone Racing presented by InsuranceMarket.ae. This is the event that combines between the digital world and the physical world, calling it Phygital. This is me, your host, Zach Mann, and I'm joined in this lovely studio with these amazing commentators, Ewan and Zach. You guys have been amazing throughout this tournament. As you know, guys, we are here waiting for the final, and we had two amazing semifinals today. We had some surprises going in the second one, but in the first one, not as much. I'm gonna have you, Zach, tell us about the first semifinal and the way it went.
Yeah, so semi-final one was pretty interesting going into it. It was very highly anticipated as this sort of clash of titans, right? We were going into it, we had Tech Drone League, who were the #1 overall qualifiers, right? They also won their heat yesterday. We had Team BDS, who coming into it, again, one of the favorites. Drone Racing 1, again, one of the favorites, all of which have been looking very, very strong over the course of the whole weekend. And then the sort of the outliers of Team Raiden, who, again, really did show their worth and throw that spanner into the mix and get involved and very nearly knocked Drone Racing 1 out of the competition. Couple of big surprises, of course, with Tech Drone League being the ones get knocked out. That's a huge hit for them in this competition. We won't be seeing them further part in the final this afternoon. They were eliminated in their semi. But Team BDS, I mean, if nothing else, it just showcased how dominant they are in this competition.
That's very true, very true. Exactly. Tech Drone League, it was very surprising. For them not to, they were in that first position going into it, but they had that issue of the jump start, and they didn't really recover after that. Let's go to the second semi-final. I'll give you a win to take us through it.
Yeah, we'll see some highlights of it in a moment, but this is the Tech Drone League just trying to recover from those, as you say, didn't really recover from that aborted start in the first attempt, if you like. We did have a second attempt where they did go off a little bit slower as well, but they were the first team actually to go off from the first position on the podiums and be eliminated. So we haven't seen that before in this competition. It was a shame at that stage. These were the changeovers for Drone Racing 1 and for Team BDS, who will be racing one another in this final. BDS definitely going in as favourites, but you've got to remember that Team Millennium only qualified below them by one position in the digital qualifiers 2 days ago, and they both have won their quarterfinals and their semi-finals. They have not met each other before. In fact, the only two teams who have met each other before now are obviously those who win the semi-finals. So BDS and Heart of America were in the same quarterfinal. Millennium and Drone Racing 1 from different ones. Nobody who was in quarterfinal 1 yesterday has made it to the final.
Yes, and these were the highlights of the first semi-final, of course, all that. We're going to go to the second one soon, but I guess that the teams now, I think they're approaching the last stage. It's the last dance. It's the final showdown, and we're going to shortly show the highlights of the second semi-final, where we had a really surprising team making it to the finals. I think we all agree on that. I'll give you, Zach, first. Take us through the first moments of these highlights in the second semi-final.
Yeah, so the opening moments were pretty chaotic in all fairness. It was a very, very close semi-final, just generically. The entirety of the first half of semi-final 2, every team were on the same lead lap, and it made for a very chaotic pit stop window, as we'll see in a few moments' time. But all eyes were on Team Millennium. They were the ones to watch, basically from the get-go, that red drone. And then the rest of the teams, E7, Rolf, Team Heart of America, it was a lot more open and definitely came to fruition in terms of the on-track action. We saw multiple times E7 getting involved in a couple of crashes, Team Heart of America getting involved in some crashes. Rolf and Team Millennium would get themselves involved in a couple of crashes as well. And that was just the name of the game. With how close and competitive they were definitely in that danger close critical zone.
Yeah, Ewan, I mean, the second semifinal, we've seen that in the first 25 laps, all teams reached that point almost at the same time. But what happened after? Take us
Yeah,
through
so
that.
I think we're about to see the changeover just in a moment, but it was absolutely extraordinary, wasn't it? All four teams on the lead lap heading in towards lap 25, which is our changeover. And here we go. Amari and Heads Up didn't have a very good changeover yesterday, if you remember, in the quarterfinals. Amari forgot to give Heads Up something, had to go back for it, which resulted in a slow stop. Much better today. E7 slow again, and unfortunately they ended up finishing fourth, not necessarily just because of a slow changeover, but it certainly didn't help for them. They crashed on a couple of occasions, and there it was. They got caught through the snake eyes as they were battling away early on for second pilot. That has put E7 out of the competition. And from there, really, it was about Team Millennium and Team Heart of America controlling from there. Team Millennium actually did clip the Snake Eyes at one stage and lose a lap at that point, but Kiki was able to get right back on it again really fast, actually, when it came down to it. Was able to pass Heart of America again and take the victory in semi-final number 2. There was the elation and the relief. It was more than anything, the emotions as well. For Kiki getting into the final. There were the results. Nearly 2 minutes, or just over 2 minutes slower than BDS. That could be really, really crucial in this final.
Yeah, now we're looking to the teams that made it to the final, and we're going to see these guys racing shortly. We see that Team BTS, the fastest lap they had was 19 seconds for T. And see, Zach, see, the thing is here, we see that Drone Racing won.
That's a slow lap. 20-minute lap time.
It's a slow lap. But
that's like us.
Yeah.
That's our pace.
That's quick for us. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be 0:0:21. But yeah, just shows that it is relatively close across the board as far as fastest lap. What we're really going to be looking for is their sort of average lap in this final. How fast can they stay?
Exactly. What we're seeing here is that 3 of them, the fastest lap for them was 19 seconds. We're expecting a final that goes crazy. And it's going to go crazy in this final because we have all teams that are like really close in their performance and their quality. We do know that all pilots that went into this tournament were previous champions and they're like really skilled and talented athletes in drone racing. However, what we have in the final now are the best of the best. Zach, what can you tell us about the pilots?
Yes, so we've got the cream of the crop. Let's start with Team BDS. MCK, Min Chan Kim, 21 years old from Korea. The 2023 World Drone Racing Champion, 2022 and 2023 Multi-GP Pro Class Champion, and in 2019 DRL, when that was huge a few years ago before the pandemic. Basically the pinnacle of drone racing. World champion in that one as well. So fantastic pilot. Yuki Hashimoto, only 18 years old, the Japanese pilot. 2025 World Games champion, World Drone Racing Junior champion, and International Multi-GP champion. And that's just Team BDS. I mean, when you look at this team dynamic, it's not just the individual pilots themselves, it's how they flow and have that chemistry linked together between the two teams. Speaking to one of the team rating guys earlier, and that language barrier between himself and his teammate drop them back a little bit in that communication. So it's not just about the individuality of each pilot and their accolades, but also how well they gel together. Very clearly, Team BDS have got it locked down.
And now, after talking about these amazing pilots, let's show some of the, I think there are new pilots that coming to the stage. Well, this is not us piloting, but we're trying some games here. I really didn't know how this game is played. I know that Zach won.
I locked in on
I'm
this.
glad my game with Zach wasn't filmed. This is the reaction test, which I did a lot better at, by the way. Well, did I get better than you there? 260 is quite high, actually. Did I? Okay,
you get 300 something for you.
I don't think I got to 300.
Look at those reaction times, by the way. If I didn't get stopped every 5 seconds, I would have comfortably
Sounds like an excuse to me. Here we go.
100%
What did I actually get?
won
I'm
this one.
absolutely
I think 3-1.
smashing this.
3-10.
Oh, 290.
290.
Look at that. Oh, yes.
30.
I mean,
that was us trying to get into this digital world of this event where it combines the digital and the physical world. Honestly, this event have been great. It's not only about drones, it's about other stuff too. But talking about going back to drones, we have this amazing drone here, and this is the same as the drones that the pilots are piloting in this race. Who want to give us a little bit of an intro on this drone?
I'm happy to. So
Yeah.
basically, yeah, this is exactly what they'll be using behind us in a couple of moments' time for the final. They steer the drones using this camera effectively. They pull on goggles, which gives them a first-person view, FPV, we might hear us say, from this very camera. It looks tiny, but when they're flying, you're tilting, as you're trying to go forwards, you're sort of tilting downwards. So actually, when you are sort of flying in as fast as you can forward direction, the camera actually does face forwards quite nicely. It doesn't look like it when you put it straight forward like that. I've been told that these drones are about twice as slow as what we've seen in competitions in the past, but that's actually made for better racing behind us. Number of reasons for that. They're a little bit bigger as well, which is maybe why we've seen a couple of pilots just clipping gates every now and again. See, it is actually quite, compared to me, it's about as wide as me. It's quite wide for a drone. And these wings as well, I don't know what they call
propellers.
Propellers, sorry, not wings. About an inch or two longer than what you would see normally as well, or wider as well. So that just adds to the width, really. And if you clip one of these, you've had it, really. They make a horrible sound. You might have picked up on that once or twice at home because of just how horrible and how loud it is when there's a propeller slightly out of whack. You've got to remember, these are revolving at about 18,000 RPM. And there's a limit on that, by the way, in the regulations. When they are rotating and they're not entirely straight and they're slightly bent, it makes a horrific sound, and you'll definitely notice it. And that's how you can lose drones very, very easily. I can see this one's been stitched back together as well. You maybe can't see it at home. Oh yeah, there you can. Stitched back together. It's not. These are crashed often. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's also, speaking of crashing in the repair sort of process, the propellers themselves, pretty easy to sort of just take off. There's a little nut there that's on a bit of thread. That will obviously then take up the entire assembly with the propeller and the motor assembly. This intrinsic bit here, basically the equivalent of a car, is like your ECU, your electronic control unit. You've got both the sensors that obviously connect it back to the pilot, and then also all of the data that gets sent back to them as well. Basically everything that happens here, this is the brain of the drone. These aren't plugs, these are soldered on, so the electrical wires have to be essentially basically welded, is sort of a way of explaining it, welded back on. If you don't know how to do that, you're not going to get very far. So it's not just one that you can buy off the shelf and go with it. It takes a lot of skill and prowess to really make it sort of work efficiently. And yeah, like you were saying, very, very fragile with the propellers themselves. The body itself is carbon fiber, which is obviously very lightweight and very durable, incredibly durable for how much it weighs. I think even it's more durable than aluminium and titanium, despite weighing a lot less with the carbon background. So that's really, really important. Weighs about 1 kilogram, and a lot of that is to do with the battery at the bottom. So yeah, it's a lot. Very technical and definitely too clever for any of us to be dealing with. So big props to the pilots, pun intended, by the way, with the big props. And yeah, they're quite talented both technically and physically with these
Thanks, guys.
pilots.
Thanks, guys, for this technical lesson. I had no idea
We
how
tried.
this run is. And now we come back. We can talk now about the prize pool of this tournament. You know that these teams are competing for a prize pool of $250,000, and this is how it's going to be split between all teams. Everyone is a winner. All right, we have the first place going to go away with $87,000. Second place will have 40. Third place will have 30. Fourth 17, and here it goes. We can see that from 9th to 16th they all get $5,000, which is really good that this event is trying to reward everyone, because again, all the talents that are here, they were really good. They all maybe had the chance to be there. Some technical issues here and there that maybe stopped them being part of this final. But I think, and we had a look of that amazing trophy that the teams that will be playing for in about, I think, 15 to 15 minutes,
less.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe less. Now the walk-on's not far away now, but yeah, this is a really, really stacked final, as you can see. Team BDS come in as the favourites. MCK and Yuki we've already talked about, but who are the challengers? Team Millennium, definitely. Kiki getting in second, which I think is an interesting strategy for them, considering he's a more established pilot compared to Trinks Pepino, who will begin for them. Drone Racing 1 and Team Heart of America have absolutely got a chance in this final as well. It's going to be very, very exciting.
And now we're going to take it to the stage to intro the teams.
All right, so we're about to cross over for the final time between the physical and the digital. And we're gonna call it phygital because that's what it's called. Everybody in the crowd, are you ready to meet the final teams for tonight? Oh no, that's bad energy. I need you guys to make more noise than that. On the count of three, make some noise. 1, 2, 3. And that's the kind of energy we need at the final. The first team. Team BDS. Give it up for Team BDS! And now the next team to grace the stage, Team Millennium! Give it up for Team Millennium! I guess you guys got some fans right there. The next team is Drone Racing 1! Oh, it looks like you guys have the crowds here, huh? Give it up for Drone Racing 1! The last and final team to join the stage is Team Heart of America! Give it up for Team Heart of America! All right, athletes, please put on your FPV goggles. Get Get your gear ready. Assume the position because we are going to start the final as soon as you guys are ready. One last time, everybody make some noise for the final!
Welcome back, guys, and this is an amazing intro, I believe, for all the teams in the final. Guys, to me, I'm gonna say my favorite is Team BDS.
Yeah.
What do you think, Evan?
They have to be. The interesting thing, though, is that they have changed their opening pilot. I believe MCK is starting, perhaps.
No, that's Yuki.
But is it?
I think that's
MCK
Yuki.
sat down
He sat down
initially
with his goggles on.
with his goggles on. Now maybe they've swapped. I don't know.
I think so. That's that. No, that's Yuki. That's Yuki. Right.
We'll have to try and work it out. But if they've gone for a change later on, that'd be very unusual.
Yeah, I mean, again, you want that uniformity, don't you? You want that continuity from semi-finals, quarterfinals, semi-finals, and now finals. Why mix it up? I wouldn't decide to take that risk. They are allowed to swap as soon, basically up until the point of the race starts. They are allowed to swap their starting pilots. So maybe there was some discussion. Maybe MCK just wanted to get sat down and ready so that he knew exactly where he was going to be. There you can see him down in the pit lane, so it definitely won't be him starting.
Okay.
Maybe it was just a case of knowing where he's going to sit and be set up so he can just jump in, go, and go.
I think this is one of the strategies that they have to be more prepared to anything that happens during a race, because we know the pilot change can be a bit of a critical run. We've seen it in the second semi-final where everyone was changing pilot at the same time. Ewan, do you have a favorite going in? Is it still Team BDS?
I think it is still Team BDS. Watch out for Team Millennium, though, because I think if they're still there or thereabouts by the pilot changeover and when Kiki gets onto the sticks, I think they've got a real chance.
Zach, what about you?
Yeah, 100% completely agree with you and on that one. When it comes to Trinks, I think his job here, manage the gap. He's not expected to go and beat BDS in this opening phase. Manage the gap so that Kiki, when he gets in, is able to close that gap. That's his job. Manage the gap, limit the damage, and then let Kiki go and hammer.
So no one is favoriting Heart of America?
No one
expected
them to get to this stage. So who knows what they could do.
The pilots now are setting up. They're all ready. I think we're very close to start the race. I'm going to leave it to you guys so you can take it from here. And let's enjoy some good drone racing.
Yes, let's. Here we go. The race is not far away from beginning. Team BDS will be in the red. Team Millennium will be in the green. Drone Racing 1 in the blue. Heart of America in the yellow. Ready for the final at Games of the Future 2025 in the Pivotal Drone Racing Tournament. Here we go. One last race to decide the champion. 50 laps to decide the title, and it's an immediately brilliant start from Team BDS, and immediately a pass from Drone Racing 1 through the stakeouts for the first time, and they're into second place in front of Team Millennium.
Oh, that was absolutely remarkable there from Valprim, exactly what he needed to do. Able to position the drone exactly where it needed to, slightly tighter line, now goes through. One lap in the books though, and now BDS are in front and controlling this race. Millennium though dropping back. Team Heart of America just trying to settle in, a bit of contact with the gate for the first time.
Down, Team Millennium down, and Trinks Pepino is driven so well throughout this tournament, has gone down here on the second lap of the final. They needed to be in touch by the time Kiki got onto the sticks, and unfortunately the green drone is already lost. They're going to need another one here. And is it being setted at the moment? I think it is. The window's open. The drone's not come out of it yet. Here we go. The LED lights are on and they're back underway, but they're going to lose 2 laps here.
This is absolutely huge. I mean, again, the bittersweet of this is the fact that maybe because it's the opening part of the race, there is still opportunity to recover, allowing Team Heart of America through. They will take third place. And don't forget, between each position, there is a huge first and second. It's over double the prize pool. Between second and third is 10k difference. Third and fourth is 13k difference. So that mistake could be hugely costly for Team Millennium.
Apart from that, the prestige of winning is massive here, and at the moment it's Team BDS versus Drone Racing 1. Valprim getting off to a decent start, getting into second immediately. But how can they stop Team BDS, who, when they get out front, have been pretty untouchable so far in this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, it's just been remarkable that both pilots, MCK and Yuki, have just been faultless, really. We've not seen a mistake yet from them. Still, potentially that could come. I have to say, though, I'm incredibly impressed with Drone Racing 1 and incredibly impressed with Valkyrie to be staying this close in the early phases. Of course, maybe there are some strategy differences and maybe Drone Racing 1 are pushing a little bit harder relative to BDS in terms of their pace. But in this opening phase, they're keeping tabs on the leader.
Keeping tabs sort of. They're 2 seconds behind at the moment, but that's not a lot in drone racing at all. We've seen races set up by single seconds this week. Is the final going to be another one of those after 50 laps? We know as well, by the way, that Team Millennium were planning to make more pit stops than the others anyway. That strategy means they have to go harder and faster than the others. They've not started that off well. They're 2 laps down.
Yeah, absolutely not by any metric at all for Team Millennium. They really need to be pulling this back in. Of course, they still do have Kiki in their back pocket, maybe to put in a sensational second stint to this race. But yeah, Trink's not going to be feeling too great about himself now. Probably quite frustrated. He needs to channel that. He needs to use that to draw themselves back into the race. There's still a lot of laps to go.
There is still 42 of them at this stage for BDS, who are leading the field in front of Drone Racing 1. Heart of America are doing what they've done all week and just scrape through, really. They're scraping through into third at the moment as well by not doing anything out of the ordinary, not doing anything that's going to crash them out, but not doing anything either that's going to get them into the lead. They're waiting for others to hit trouble in this race.
And to be fair, that's a very valid strategy, right? They've been there. They've been such a dark horse of Team Heart of America. Always had something more to show in terms of pace, and I think maybe intentionally. There are a couple of mistakes. Is down. Goes BDS through the downward ladder. They're down. Can they get themselves back up?
You can't believe it here. The crowd can't believe it. We can't either. Team BDS have gone down for the first time in this tournament. And Drone Racing 1 are leading this race at the moment. Heart of the America have gone through into second place as well. Here come BDS with a new drone. They're back underway once again here. MCK puts the new drone on and they're back underway. Yuki with his first mistake this week. And it's in the final.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world of racing where the unpredictable is almost guaranteed. Team BDS, faultless. Yuki, faultless. But when it all matters, when it all boils down to this final race, anything can happen. Anything has happened. And now into the pit lane for the first time come our race leaders.
It's a good idea as well because BDS were right behind them at that stage and they could have really challenged. They made contact. They're stuck in the... Oh, he saved it. I don't believe it. He got caught in the net and he was falling towards the ground. Oh, he's in the fence. He's in the fence again. Got the media center end. They're trying to put a lap at the moment on Team Millennium and they can't do it. BDS are falling apart here. Drone Racing 1 are back out onto the circuit again. But this is extraordinary. The race favourites are in big trouble here in the final.
Yeah, and they've lost the battery as well with that drone being down, so that's one less strategical element in their pocket. They're going to be pushing as hard as they can, and I think that's what's going on here. They're frustrated. We haven't seen them under pressure, and because of that, we've not seen what they're like under pressure. I think the cracks are starting to show.
And that is Drone Racing 1 letting them through. So a new drone for Drone Racing 1, a new battery at least, and they've let BDS through. So they're only 1 lap down now, I believe. It is 1 lap down. But, well, less than 1 lap now. They've just unlapped themselves. But even so, it's a long, long way to recover for Team BDS.
Yeah, it is indeed. Coming into the pit lane as well, come our green drone. Of course, that being Team Millennium. They're a long way down, but again, could still be a dark horse in this race. Same to Heart of America, who are being really consistent. Amari, I have to say, incredibly impressive. I think it is going to come down to a strategical element in this race. But Drone Racing 1, after nearly being eliminated from the competition by Team Raiden earlier on today, they are coming in and they are not, leaving any chances on the table.
And Millennium still a long way back at the moment. They've only completed 13 laps. The race leaders have had to come through and complete 17. So Millennium are 3 laps down at this stage. The other 2 drones are on the lead lap with the leader. Drone Racing 1 at the front, in front of Team Heart of America, and then BDS. We are 8 laps away from our pilot changes, and it's all getting close down the back end of the racetrack. Here come Millennium over the line, then Heart of America, then BDS and Drone Racing 1 down through the quad gate. It's really close between all 4 teams.
Yeah, this is where things can go really wrong. Of course, the underneath of the drone, that's where the battery is housed. That's the heavy bit. That's the less sensitive bit. If you hit that, you can get away scot-free. The propellers are the sensitive bit. You do not want to be hitting anyone coming down on top of you. But all four of them chase each other through the start-finish gate. And, of course, trying to keep on tabs. Team Millennium trying to put a lap onto... Oh, my goodness me, there's more contact!
They've taken them out. Millennium goes to the back of the train again. And BDS are through. They're onto the lead lap here. They're in front of Heart of America, by the way, who again are sticking to their strategy. Let's not get caught up in any crashes. Let's let everybody through. And it's worked for them this time round.
Yeah, it's worked for them in all tournament. They have never been the quickest. Arguably, they've never been the most consistent, but they've been the one to stay out of trouble, not get involved in anyone else's skirmishes. Of course, really impressive stuff from Valkyrin here. The race leaders, they allowed BDS to unlap themselves, but what they're now doing is not letting them get away. So they're on the same lap, but Drone Racing 1 keeping tabs on them and stopping BDS from reclaiming that lap.
This is quite an extraordinary final. We are 4 laps or so away from pit stops, and indeed the pilot changes, but BDS are having to stop again. So this is not ideal now. Not ideal at all. MCK straps on a new battery. There you can see Heart of America, meantime, get into second place as a result.
Yeah, this is good. They probably won't stay there. It's a provisional P2, not a net P2, but still they are there, ready to pick up the pieces. Amari doing the job, riding on board with them now, as you can see, down the descending ladder. Pretty tidy. Again, not taking too many risks. However, right now, MCK having a couple of issues getting the drone back into play.
Oh, he couldn't get it on the podium for ages. And Heart of America are a lap in front now. BDS have got so much work to do in this final if they're going to live up to their favourite status. Drone Racing 1 having the perfect race so far, overtaking immediately Team Millennium off the start, and then having the trouble for the race leaders. When the pressure is on, they've not been able to make it count. Yuki goes right around Team Millennium again. He's on a mission at the moment.
Yeah, he's now flying with emotion. He's flying with determination. He knows the job at hand, and he knows what he needs to do to recover. They are still in this race, but they cannot let off now. They've got no margin for error. They've thrown that safety net in the bin, and now it's the job. BDS need to show what we saw through the quarters in the semis.
2 laps to make up still. Oh, and what a Heart of America. Heart of America are flying straight through the track there. Oh, there it is. And into the box goes Drone Racing 1. Just about well timed. Here we go. Final pilot change of the tournament for Drone Racing 1. Can they nail everything this time? They've got to stay calm. They can't make any mistakes here. Dan's trying to get over at the moment, through onto the stage. There they go. Valkyrin is going to run over into the pit box. Here comes down onto the stage.
Oh, he's showboating.
Oh, my word.
Look at that.
That is unbelievable. That's very premature, if I may say. He's absolutely loving it at the moment, getting overawed by the crowd reaction. He's got to keep his head on here. He's still got half the race to go. BDS are on to lap 25 themselves. They're about to come into pit lane to catch them up as Drone Racing 1 continue on. Heart of America carry on as well after their pit stop, but they need to stop again to pilot change next time around.
BDS came in that time through as well, so of course we'll be seeing a swap very, very shortly. Yuki disassembling himself, getting himself unplugged while MCK sorts out the drone. Very nice strategy indeed. Now sprinting off the stage goes Yuki, launching himself off once again. Very nicely done indeed. And now MCK will get to the 6th. The job is still at hand. Drone Racing 1 clearly very confident, and the aura farming up onto the stage there was sensational, of course, from Dan and Valprim, of course, as they swapped over. But this blue drone, after nearly being eliminated earlier on this afternoon, they are filled with confidence in the early stage of this race.
BDS comfortably in front of Heart of America now after that swap. MCK is now piloting for BDS. They've gained about half a lap, by the way. I know it's still showboating, it's all well and good and all, but they've lost about half a lap here, Drone Racing 1, and there's still half the race to go. There goes Amari off the stage. They've got those changes down now. Their first one was pretty disastrous, but they've got them down now. Here comes Heads Up, just calmly jogging. This is how to do it. Just calmly jogging towards the controller. We'll get the headset on in a moment, and we'll get back going again in a moment as well. Team Millennium into the pit stop. They are taking on their pilot change now too. Kiki will be piloting that drone to the finish.
Yeah, watch out for Team Millennium. I know they've been sort of shunned out of contention a little bit, but if anyone can recover this race for them, it will be Kiki. I mean, even swapping from 4th into 3rd is 13,000 USD difference in terms of the prize pool. So there are stakes here. It's not just a winner takes all. The prize money increases a lot per position, and and you really are rewarded for going to chase that. Of course, Drone Racing 1 right now are looking absolutely faultless, but look out for BDS. They are just over a lap down. If they can unlap themselves in the next couple of moments or so, all still to play in the final stages of this race.
Watch out for this lapping, by the way, for BDS on Drone Racing 1. This is, and they've let them go. They've let them go. BDS are on the lead lap. We've got 2 drones on the lead lap in the final here at the Games of the Future 2025. And BDS are absolutely flying. MCK is on a mission here to catch Drone Racing 1, who have a lap to fall back on. But that gap is continuing to come down again and again and again.
Yeah, indeed. So Drone Racing 1 doing the clever thing there, which was just, again, the team communication between the pilots must be fantastic. They've won a team event before, of course, the Moscow Mayors event in 2025. They know that chemistry. They know what they need to do. Let them through, manage the gap. There's no need to take risks. We've seen how aggressive they're willing to be, BDS, and you don't want to get caught into anything unnecessary. As Team Art of America nearly go up and over through the ascending ladder and nearly collecting Drone Racing 1 with them as well. That's getting close through the snake, guys, as they let them through again.
What a great bit of piloting that was from down there to just let the Heart of America drone go. Heads up, absolutely flying at the moment and getting past Drone Racing 1. They've got to be, I know they've got a big lead, but they've got to be careful, Drone Racing 1, that they're not sort of conservatively letting this race drain away from them. They've still got 15 laps or so to complete.
I mean, even just looking at BDS through that sweeping section as you come out of quad gate, they just look so committed. All of them do. I mean, the sense of speed is remarkable from each of these pilots, but it does that body language of the drone definitely does seem to err onto the side that they are absolutely pushing. Speaking to some of the pilots earlier, the way this course is laid out, it's quite a short, compact one. That means energy usage is still important, but isn't as important as their longer courses. So the loss for pushing harder isn't necessarily as big. BDS might have had to switch onto a more aggressive strategy, where I think Drone Racing 1 are still happy, still following their gut and enabling them to conserve. But like you say, there is a line to that, and BDS are closing in fast.
They've at least made it to this stage, and they can make it from here. They should be able to make it from here, but BDS, Team BDS are making their final stop of the day. Now watch for that red drone. Here's the vision there from Yuki. He's swapping the batteries over. He's plugging the LEDs back in again. MCK is absolutely ready to go. Onto the podium it goes. When do they get liftoff? They've gone. That was a decent pit stop from Team BDS.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. And again, that synergy between MCK and Yuki, it's exactly what we've seen all tournament long and why they've been so faultless. Yes, they've been under a lot of pressure for the first time in this tournament is into the pit lane from Drone Racing 1. Now it's crunch time. They need a good stop. Otherwise, all of that showboating was for absolutely nothing. Close, though, between Team Art of America and between Team BDS. The last thing you need is to get caught up in an incident.
BDS are on the same lap as Drone Racing 1 right now. So they've got to get going quickly here. Drone Racing 1. Here come they through the final corners. Team BDS are in the lead of the final. They're in the lead of this final. They've had a crash. They've got back in the race and they're in the lead now. Oh, this is extraordinary for MCK. Absolutely extraordinary. And Sam is under big pressure now from Team Millennium. He's got Heart of America going off in front as well, just clipping a gate there down the towards the media center. And Team BDS are capitalizing here. What's the gap? The gap is going to be way more than 2 seconds. It's 4.2 seconds with 10 laps to go.
BDS, take a bow. If anyone could recover from that situation, they've kept the composure, they've kept their cool head, and they have been rewarded by their consistency. Drone Racing 1 maybe got a little bit complacent with their pace. Still, 9 laps of this race remaining. Still opportunity to come in. They cannot let themselves get complacent from BDS and Drone Racing 1. They were being conservative before. They can leave nothing on the table now if they want to be crowned champions.
8 laps still remaining here for MCK. He cannot make a mistake. The gaps are increasing. 0.8 of a second last time round. 1.5 seconds this time round in favor of Team BDS. Drone Racing 1, if they want to win this, have got to throw more at this at the moment.
Yeah, they do indeed. It's just not enough. You know, they're over half a lap down. In fact, creeping up more and more towards BDS, just extending that gap because they're going through the snake eyes. BDS are already now going through the ascending ladder. That gap is just going to continue to grow. Now creeping up onto 10 seconds, half a lap between the two leaders. And right now it's slipping out of the clutches of Drone Racing 1. They were handed that opportunity, but BDS, as we expected, have shone through the rest.
Can they make it to the end will be the only thing that can save them here. because they do have that lost drone, don't forget. It's just to the side of the...
Coming in.
And they're coming in. So they couldn't get to the end. That's why Drone Racing 1 were taking it more conservatively. They knew they had this still in hand. MCK chatting to Yuki here, who's got to do a quick changeover. Drone Racing 1 are going to be in the lead with 5 laps to go. But how big is the lead going to be? The drone's on the podium. They need to get going quickly. And they are now. This is maximum attack from MCK to win this tournament.
Yeah, it's got to be push, push, push now, but also leaving a little bit on the table is to not make a mistake. Drone Racing 1 are not out of this just yet. They're back into the lead. Do they owe us another pit stop? Potentially. This has been a strategical battle of attrition between two fantastic teams. BDS have been dominant through the entire tournament. Drone Racing 1 have been there or thereabouts, were close and on the brink of elimination, but have fought back fantastically in this final. We've got a handful of laps left to go, and it's coming down to the wire.
And there are no lap drones between them. Millennium and Heart of America are battling around the other side of the course at the moment. They're nowhere near the other two. It's between Drone Racing 1 and Team BDS for the win. It's only 4.4 seconds. They're completing lap 48. Drone Racing 1 coming to the end of it right now. 2 laps to go. And Drone Racing 1 have gone.
They're coming back in.
Team BDS are in again. And they're surely going to have this now. Unless Drone Racing 1 need another stop, they've surely got this now.
But even if they do owe another stop, BDS didn't overtake them beforehand. So now Drone Racing 1 have got a pit stop in their pocket. This could be huge for the tournament.
1 lap to go. 49 laps completed from Drone Racing 1. And they've put a lap on BDS now. They can't lose it from here unless they have trouble. It's in their hands. Their fate is in their hands. It's been an extraordinary run to the final for them after finishing second earlier today in their semi-final and in their quarter-final as well. Drone Racing 1 are going to win here at Games of the Future in the... Oh, there's contact between the leaders. They've gone down. They've gone down. Drone Racing 1 have gone down. And BDS are going to steam around the other side of the circuit. They've still gone down. Have they completed the 50 laps? I think they have. But they're not going to get back to the end. They know they've done it. They know they've completed the 50 laps. And they have done it. They've won the Digital Drone Racing Tournament here at Games of the Future. Despite contact late on with Team BDS, they've taken the title by just 21.5 seconds in an extraordinary final.
Now that was a strategical masterclass. Drone Racing 1, Valprim and Dan take a bow. That was sensational stuff. The strategical masterclass. For a moment, I thought BDS were back into it, but they nurtured that drone to the end. Don't drop that controller. You'll probably be spending half of your prize money replacing it. BDS, what a battle that was, and gutted. But what happened to them? You can see the emotion between them. They've been faultless all tournament, and it all came undone in the final. Drone Racing 1 with an absolute blinder here at Games of the Future.
I mean, I bet there's some unbroadcastable things being said over that radio at the moment. It's still throwing that controller up and down. Careful with that, sir. It's very expensive.
I know.
Dear, oh dear. They are absolutely delighted, and why not as well? And look at the disappointment for Team BDS. Yuki and MCK have absolutely performed perfectly throughout this tournament. And Drone Racing 1, let's not forget, second in their quarterfinal, second in their semi-final. They haven't won a race yet, and they win the final.
It just goes to show you're not out until the 50 laps in the final, and that was remarkable from them. Like I say, if it wasn't for a mistake from Team Raiden, they wouldn't even be in the conversation to begin with. Of course, there are still 3 minutes of this race, so you see heads up still locked in there, but it seems that Heart of America are pretty safe to take that P3. A shame for Team Millennium what could have been if they didn't get involved earlier on in this race. But Heart of America, again, a sublime performance. That again, they've just been a dark horse. They're going to be walking away with 30,000 USD. And between their team, I'm sure that's a very healthy chunk of change to be taking home after a weekend here in Abu Dhabi. But BDS, I think the lesson there is that hubris definitely is powerful. I know full well that after the results of the qualifiers, the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, they came into this expecting to win. They knew there was a chance that they wouldn't, but there was an expectation, there was a pressure from them to win, and they haven't.
Oh, look at that. MCK and Yuki are going to be absolutely distraught. As I say, they flew absolutely perfectly. It just shows that one mistake can cost you so dearly, and losing that battery can cost you so dearly. That's why they had to make so many stops towards the end there, because they were trying to recharge them as quick as they can, but you can only do it as quick as it goes. And they ended up making a a stop more than, at least one stop more than what they were expecting. Team Millennium are flying towards the end here. Wonder if they're trying to set the fastest lap or something right at the very end of the day. And Kiki will be very disappointed with fourth place, I think, because as a pilot, well done.
Oh, nearly.
He's showing off for the fans right in front of the crowd here in Abu Dhabi. But what a final that was. What drama and what a result for Drone Racing 1. They take the victory. MCK and Yuki distraught the Team BDS. And Kiki, unfortunately, he knew once he got onto the stage, unfortunately, that Team Millennium's fate was rather signed, as it were, or sealed. But what a final. Deserving of an end of a great tournament.
Oh, absolutely. I'm shaking. We saw Dan there. He visibly, the adrenaline was making him shake, and rightfully so. Nice to see towards the end MCK smiling there. Of course, he's flown great. Yuki has flown great. The team dynamic has been great. It was a small mistake in the end that cost them. There, of course, Millennium and things had a couple of issues. They can't beat themselves up too much about this. I'm sure they'll be back bigger than ever in 2026. And just what a way to cap off this tournament. It's been boiling down. The finals and the races have been getting better and better and better all the way to the end. And I mean, this one was the pinnacle of them all.
I'm back. Did you see how fast MCK was going?
Oh, unbelievable, wasn't it?
Did you see the
Heart in the
angles
mouth. Yeah,
that he
100%.
was doing on the quad gate? It was unbelievable. I'm watching. He tried his best and he was very close. But I think he necked the drone on his 47th or 48th lap, and that really flipped things up. What happened with Yuki, Ewan?
I don't know. It's one of those things, isn't it, that you can fly so perfectly all throughout a tournament from start almost to finish. That's the first mistake we've seen him make, and it's in the final. I mean, how heartbreaking for them. Just 21.5 seconds away from a title here at Games of the Future. Just an unbelievable finish to this tournament with, unbelievable drama.
It was very unfortunate. It was very unfortunate. We're going to toss it back now to the stage. Let's go.
There's so much excitement in the air.
And the best won the Phygital Drone Racing competition presented by InsuranceMarket.ae here at the Phygital Games of the Future, Abu Dhabi 2025. None other than congratulations to Drone Racing 1! And now, the champions are going to raise their trophy